Hey guys, how's it going? I want to wish you a happy weekend. Hope you had a good week this week and you have a good week coming up. I want to go ahead today and I want to talk about my excitement for the hobby. Now, lately, as you guys I'm sure are aware, it's not just me, it's other YouTubers have been making comments about the hobby lately, about concerns or how products hard to find, which product is still hard to find. I do not know if you all had a good experience with the Walmart drops. I don't think many people did, but let me know if you did have actual success with the Walmart drop for Phantasmal Flames and some black and white products. For me, it was atrocious. It was atrocious for a ton of people. But product is obviously still hard to find. I was able to actually find some product though. So I went to Sam's uh, Thursday, went to Sam's, and it was later in the day, and they had Prismatic Evolutions, the Lucario box. And I got one at Thursday. I saw where they had it, which was at customer service. They had them like stacked up, but there was probably maybe like 20 or so. And then came back the next day later on, so Friday night, and they actually still had like 4 or 5, which was crazy to me. So I thought it was really interesting though, because for how hot Prismatic is. Now I live in a smaller town, so maybe, but like we still have scalpers. I mean, we still have sneakerheads. They're all over the place. Either people don't have Sam's, like a Sam's membership, or they just didn't know, because I think it was supposed to drop like on a Tuesday, and for some reason, like I said, it was Thursday, so I don't know if it was just kind of like off people's radar. And but yeah, I thought that was super interesting, that Prismatic was not completely sold out within like, I don't know, a couple hours maybe. And then they even, like I said, even went on to the next day. But anyways, getting back to my point. Sorry, I digress. I'm excited because we had Destined Rivals on the Pokemon Center. Now, it was not a huge drop. Sold out relatively quickly. I know it was like booster boxes, booster bundles, a couple other things, even some Journey Together sleeve packs, some Destined Rivals sleeve packs. I think there was a couple other things. There were rumors of an ETB, but I didn't see any confirmation of the ETB, and I didn't see it like in the notification services that I get. But it shows that Pokemon is printing, and if you've noticed, like, there's not a huge change, but the booster boxes have dropped down in price. Mega Evolutions has dropped down in price. It's still $310 a booster box, but it shows with Destined Rivals, everyone's favorite set, the greatest set to ever come out, that's going to go to $1,000 by Christmas. It shows that Pokemon's paying attention and they're printing. And if you look on their website, it still says, where other product doesn't say it, it still says limit of 1, which they changed from limit of 2 to limit of 1. Limit of 1, more will be available later on this year. I personally feel like, and again, we don't know what Pokemon's really going to do. Anyone who's saying Pokemon's going to do this or Pokemon's going to do that, nobody knows. In my opinion, I feel like the Pokemon company is printing product, and they're not just focusing on these collector boxes. Yes, collector boxes are a huge thing. They're constantly being pumped out. People are saying like, "Where's the booster box? Where's the booster boxes?" And I don't think like we're going to be getting Surging Sparks, Journey Together, but I do think there's going to be more by the end of this year, more drops for Destined Rivals, for the booster boxes. Mega Evolutions, we'll see, but I think Pokemon has been playing the quiet game, and I think they're printing product, and they've been holding on to it. We'll see, but hopefully, around the holidays, we just get blasted with a decent amount to show people that none of this goes up forever, especially with a brand new set. A brand new set should never be reaching $400 or close to 500, or like $140 in ETB. There is a ton of hope, and I actually am like, this is the first time in a while like I've been at peace with it. You see a lot of other Poketubers complaining about prices and stuff like that, and granted, I understand the pricing too behind it, and I will talk about pricing and stuff like that, but I'm got to the point where it's like, it's all like we are seeing this flat line of product where it's not going up, it's not going down, not going up, it's dropping a little bit, and then it finds like a new floor, and then it stalls. And there's a lot of things stalling right now. That is a good sign if you are a normal collector or even a normal investor. There's not everybody who invests in Pokemon is like this terrible like nostalgianomics and people like that. Like, they understand in a healthy market, and that's what they want, is a healthy market. They don't want this. They're not going to feed you all this FOMO bullshit. They're gonna say this is we want to see a steady increase over time, not just this rocket ship that we've got going on. So for me, I am very excited. I am just chilling. I'm doing my normal thing. I am putting back some capital for when this eventually happens. But I think this is the first wave of many. And what I mean by that is we are going to see people, and we already are seeing people dumping product, getting out of the hobby, and because for net now, they're not able to just go and buy this product with their bots or whatever and turn around and sell it for double. So, it's not like a quick flip, like where you bought a booster box for $150, you could turn it around to $310, or you buy a booster box or ETB or something, but we'll stick with booster boxes. Let's say you buy a booster box for $300. Well, you hold on to it for a week, and it goes from $300 to $320, and then another week it's going to go $340. Like, that's what people were doing, was every single week everything was going up and up and up, and now things are not going up. They're flatlining. And so these kinds of people, not everybody, again, we're talking about the people who have mostly contributed to the problem. Not everybody. There's people who probably watch, maybe not my videos, but if you come across this, or Poketubers, your favorite Poketuber video, you're buying product from scalpers. You're paying double, triple MSRP because you may not be able to get in your area, or you support a rip and ship. And so you are still part of the problem, right? But just, if at the end of the day, if we have a couple of those people who are paying for rip and ships and stuff like that, it's not as huge of a situation, or hurts the market by raising up prices as much as everybody with their bots and stuff like that. I watched the Rudy video. Now, this is not why I got this opinion or this feeling. I think Rudy's a very smart guy. I think Rudy knows a lot of inside information that you probably shouldn't know, but I've noticed, I watched the video where he's saying that he feels like the next 3 months, like all TCG is going to kind of flatline. Maybe go down like 20%, but it's not going to go up. It might go down 10, 20%, or it might just stay kind of like flatline. And now you see everybody and their mother all saying Pokemon's going down, the crash. Like you got Mitch Mall, he made a clickbait title talking about the crash, which didn't even have anything to do with the crash. You got the Poketuber talking about the crash, and what he's saying. So I mean, you've got everybody now who's like, because Rudy says something, that's what's going to happen. I was already feeling like Pokemon was doing something after I saw that the Destined Rivals booster boxes had a reprint and they dropped some. I don't expect that to be all the reprint, like I said, but they dropped some on the Pokemon Center. That gave me a pretty good sign that, hey, it's all going to be okay. Because I was FOMOing into Destined Rivals. Like, I don't think it is a great set, but I think long term, with it being Team Rocket, how, at least from the history of Pokemon, how infrequent that is, that long term, I think that it will be a good set to have. And I was starting to, like, I have 2 Mega Evolutions boxes, and I was like, hey, why don't I, Destined Rivals is sitting at 4 something, and the Mega Evolution sitting at 3 something. Why don't I try to find somewhere I can trade into, and then pay the rest of the difference? And now I'm good. Like I said, I'm good with where I'm sitting. I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what happens with Destined Rivals. There's some cards that I'm really wanting to get. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna wait. We're gonna see what happens. I think that, we are starting to see some flatlining, and will we see some flatline and then upward trajectory, later on through the mega block into the 30th? Who knows? Or we just can continue to see a downturn. I think it's really going to depend on what Pokemon does with the next couple sets, what the 30th looks like, if there is a 30th. If the 30th sucks, I feel like that's going to be the start of it, and then of course everything before that. But I'm excited. So, for a while it's kind of like Pokemon was kind of a downer thing, at least to watch for me. And then now, like, there's a bunch of content creators I don't really watch anymore. I don't really watch as much content creators, Poketubers as before. But anyways, I'm excited. So we'll see what the future holds. Like, comment, subscribe, follow this channel. I'll be sure to cover ups, downs, whatever going on, give my personal opinions. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.